Hey, I'm Mike Bernhardt for the Exascale Computing Project. We're here at SC18, and I'm talking today with Dave Montoya. Dave is a 26-year veteran of the Los Alamos National Laboratory and currently involved in one of ECP's projects, which is software integration at facilities. I think I got that right. Is that right, Dave?
Right, absolutely.
Okay. So welcome. We're looking forward to talking with you about, I think it's a pretty exciting project. A lot of people don't really understand, including myself many days, exactly how ECP structures the work that we do. And we think about hardware, and we think about software, we think about the applications and so forth. But software integration facilities, what's that really mean?
Well, I think one of the key things that evolved through the process of ECP in the last year was it was very important to really integrate with the facilities, because that's actually where the exascale computers are going to be. So ECP mainly been focused on a lot of the software, whether it's the applications or all the software technologies to support the application. One of the key aspects was how do we actually ensure that the software can efficiently be deployed at the facilities, and that it blends with also many of the software components that the facilities have. So this was a big drive to really make that a more efficient and healthy process. Because one of the things that we found, and this is known in all HPC areas, is very difficult. It's complex environments. The hardware's complex, the software's complex, a huge amount of dependencies. And one of the things that was seen early on is you have to have a healthy software ecosystem. And to do that, you really need to have a lot of testing going on. And in the last few years, you've seen a big surge in DevOps and continuous integration and continuous testing. And a lot of the teams have been using this off to the side. And from the ECP project, we wanted to ensure that we could offer that to provide a healthy software environment at the facilities, that it's continuously being tested, and that actually when an application is running there, they know that the components that they're using, the dependencies from the software side, have already been tested on those environments and on that hardware, and it kind of reduces the time to getting things up and deployed and running much quicker.
So this is, I describe it as, in my mind, highly collaborative. You are kind of at that hinge point of dealing with applications, software, the hardware, the vendors, and so forth, yes?
Yeah, and in fact, I look at I'm somewhat, I wear many hats. So in one day I'm wearing a facility hat, the other day I'm wearing a ECP software hat, and then I'm maybe an application hat. And it's really the crossroads, and we're actually now starting to talk to the vendors, because all the software ultimately has to sit on top of a vendor software stack, and having them involved in helping out interfaces and maybe pre-testing so we can get early releases so that we can actually add that to the continuous integration is pretty key.
Okay. And how's it going?
It's going really well. I mean, as you said, it's very diverse, so there's always a lot of contact. All the facilities are working really well together, and part of this is people getting to know people, building the relationships, understanding the problems, bringing what they have to the table, because they have different needs, but they also have different solutions as well. So a lot of facilities have their own software that they put together that's very good. They have their own processes, and in a way, this becomes very much a learning and leveraging opportunity.
So how would you describe or break down the components of the project?
The components, the key part, as I mentioned, is the continuous integration. That's actually upfront as far as the key component we're trying to put in place, and that continuous integration is a little bit different from what you see in normal web-based internet type testing, because we have applications and software technology teams that want to test on the actual machines that are running at the facilities, the architectures, the software environments that come with it. So it's a little bit broader than that. We also have security concerns that we need to worry about. So as we do testing, we need to ensure that there's a process so that when a facility sees tests coming in from someplace else, it's a well-vetted, validated approach to doing that, and we want to track who's actually running it. The other thing from that perspective is ensuring that we've got good test machines at different sites, and we're looking at that and seeing where can we house it. Obviously, the facilities are going to try to have pre-test machines for what they're going to be targeting, but we may want to have also multiple architectures so that teams can benchmark and ensure that they've got portability in mind as they go forward. So that's the CI piece. Now the other part is the integration and deployment part. And Spack has been one of the software packaging components that has been key, and all the software technology teams are basically moving in that direction. Many of the application teams are also adopting that. And we're now looking at, well, if we have Spack and we have ways to package up Spack and build broader relationships like tool chains, and then we allow that to be the interface to the facility so they can pull down tool chains that are appropriate for their site, and even application teams, then you allow that whole ecosystem to become much more manageable and well understood. Yeah. The other piece that ties into this is containers. We know are going to be a big thing coming into the next few years. So we have a containers working group. We're also taking a look to ensure that as we have this software deployment workflow developed, that it isn't only taking a look at how do we deploy at facilities where it's the traditional creating modules and putting deployment, but also being able to peel that off and allowing the facilities to put container environments together, and for application teams to also build on top of that so that they can actually peel off.
So a lot of integration.
There's a lot of integration, a lot of moving pieces, and a lot of things that are somewhat still in the definition perspective, but I think there's a vision that everybody's putting together so we know the direction, and we just fill in the blanks as we prototype and put components into place.
So is there something unique about the way this project's being managed as a part of ECP? Is this the way it's normally done, or if we had to kind of go and clear off the whiteboard and start new with process?
I think what ECP is bringing to the broader way that the DOE has traditionally done this is it's traditionally been very focused on facilities and labs, putting environments together and putting RFPs, bringing machines in. And ECP's putting a little bit of an umbrella on top of that to actually start trying to leverage across the laboratories and across facilities. And so that you have not necessarily total buy-in on there's always different needs, but the thing is it does allow for leveraging to take place, standardization. Spack is a good one. This kind of helps kind of create a process for actually packaging software. The continuous integration, I think, would be key. If we get that working properly, then it easily allows project teams to be able to test at multiple facilities and ensure that portability is there. They can assess benchmarking on different types of hardware, and actually gives them a nice heads up on what's going on. So I think that would be key.
It's fantastic. I'm wishing you all the luck, man. You got a great team, and what an exciting project.
It is a really good team all the way across. There's really good people all across the facilities and the project, and it's been kind of fun to work with them.
Awesome. Thank you. We've been talking with Dave Montoya from Los Alamos National Laboratory for the Exascale Computing Project. I'm Mike Bernhardt.